Welcome back to Black Lotus Buds. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Michael. Thanks for joining us.
We're kicking off our 17th episode on the channel where we're talking all things trading cards. And today we'll be talking about Tarkir, Dragonstorm, and Magic Arena, the Cult of Rakdos, and Music Memory. And Michael, I hope you're sitting down, taking some shelter today because we're picking back up where we left off and talking about Death from Above with Tarkir, Dragonstorm, and Magic Arena. And yeah, dude, it's been a fun experience this last week or so. I've been getting destroyed on Arena lately with this new set, man.
You have?
Yeah, I've been getting crushed.
Why? To me, you're like the Magic God. You know, I'm still learning the rules.
Yeah.
So what's happening?
Well, I've had a pretty consistent run of like many wins and a couple losses, but the last time I was playing just a couple days ago, it could have just been yesterday. This card, Venerated Stormsinger, just keeps showing up. It's from the new set. I asked you to pull it up so you could take a look at this guy. And for a relatively high mana cost, he just seems to produce a tremendous amount of damage, and without even attacking. Whenever that the ability on it, whenever a creature or another creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. That in repetition just gets so old so quick. Unless obviously you're the one playing this card, then you're loving it. But there's a bunch of mechanics in the game where you can like double the abilities of a card. So like that would trigger twice, including the other ability on it, Mobilize 1. So just both of those, if you can trigger them twice, it just really sets up the opponent to fail.
It's crazy. That's an uncommon card too.
Yeah. That's the one that I've seen that has been the card that has been beating me overall.
People have just got to make a deck with that.
yeah. It's when it attacks, it creates a creature that's going to die, even if it like doesn't get killed by the opponent. It just gets sacrificed at the end step. So when it dies, it's going to trigger the ability of this card for the opponent to lose a life and you gain a life.
Oh my god, that's even more disgusting.
Yeah, and if you have any other cards out there that can trigger that ability twice, which there are right now, it makes for a fun, rough awakening. So I've had a pretty rough go at it. I will say I haven't played Quick Draft yet with Tarkir Dragonstorm, and that is the most fun. So I know that'll be exciting to get into. That's the easiest way to acquire a whole bunch of the cards from the set and then figure out ways to, use all the cards in the set to work together. But I haven't had the chance to do that just yet.
I really want to see the showcase foils, and the set's so new, they're not even on TCG Player yet.
Yeah, there's a different website. I closed the browser, but there's one that you can find all of those. They're just digital pictures, so you don't really get the grasp of the like foil aspect of it, but you at least get to see how they all, the art alternates or is different from the original one. The basic one.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and they had like the originals as placeholders, and I was like, I didn't realize it at first. I was like, I don't know what it is, but these are just completely underwhelming for like, these are the rarest cards, and then it dawned on me. I was like, I see, they're not here yet. They're not scanned in.
There's obviously a bunch of dragons, and it's really cool now that I've put a little focus on going through the list of dragons. It's neat how like their artwork varies based off of the color of the dragon and then the abilities of the card. Though the other one I had you just pull up now, there's the Niriv, Heart of the Storm. And this card I think is going to be a really commonly used card as we continue on and keep this in standard rotation at least. Its ability, other than flying, is if a creature you control that entered this turn would deal damage, it deals twice that much damage instead. And since this is one of those tricolor cards, red, white, and black, red, as you know, it's all about haste and speed and impulse and quickness and everything. So having creatures enter the battlefield with haste and be able to, deal damage, especially if it's flying and they're unblocked, and now they get to deal twice as much damage, I think that's going to be a huge mechanic that's going to bring a lot of defeat to a lot of people.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and this is a 4 mana, 4/5 creature. That's a pretty strong creature for the mana. That's typically what you'd want.
The only thing is having all 3 of those, but I'm sure there's workarounds, like cards that work to give you either and stuff like that.
Exactly. There's lands that you can have. There's even a few that when it enters the battlefield, just name the type of creature. So you could, for example, if you have this one, Near of Heart of Storm pulled up, it's a spirit dragon. So you could, when this land enters the battlefield, pick a creature. You could either pick spirit or you could pick dragon or any other creature type for the point of this. But if you pick dragon, then any dragon that you're playing out of your hand, you can pretty much have you can just use that land for any color to play a dragon. Cavern of Souls, I think, is the land that I'm thinking about. There's a couple other ones, and I think as they rotate out the older ones from a couple years ago, they end up rotating in some new ones with some of the new sets. And I've seen a couple cards like that just in Tarkir alone. But
now, have you opened a lot in IRL, or are you ripping packs on Arena?
Arena. Yeah, I haven't played in real life with Tarkir just yet. I haven't swung by the card store.
Here's the thing, man. I really want to get, I want to experience Tarkir. This is a set I kind of wanted, and I guess I feel a little behind because I don't have the cards. I was out there buying some other sets. So it's how do I get cards on Arena? Even if I don't build a deck right now, I kind of want these cards to build one.
Hell yeah.
So I want to maximize that.
Yeah, we'll get you on Quick Draft, or just any of those drafts where you're able to, in a sequence with other players, pull a card out of a pack, pass the pack to your left, get the next pack, do the same exact thing, and those cards stay in your library. So that's the best way of amassing a healthy amount of 50 or so cards, and then being able to build a smaller card deck. It's 40 cards, which usually has 16 or 17 lands, and then 23 or 24 non-lands, and just play with them against other people that have made the same type of decks. You're going to be able to get a whole bunch of neat cards and then learn more about what this set does, with the mechanics behind it and everything. It's been a lot, man. Not every dragon you're going to see, but the dragons that you do see coming out of some of these packs and some of these decks are fun. These 3-color dragons are the ones that are just absolutely wild, man. There's one that's for 8 mana. I don't know how to really pronounce this name. It's Ureni, the Song Unending, and it's a 10/10 spirit dragon with flying, protection from white, protection from black, and a whole bunch of other abilities. But a 10/10 flying dragon is nothing short of amazing.
I want any of them. I want a showcase foil as well. That one I want, I guess, in real life. At Arena, I'd actually prefer the other one so I can see. I need the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to get some of those collector booster packs then, if anything. You might not need to get a full box of collector packs, but the collector packs are the ones where you're going to find the crazy artwork.
Is Tarkir having the same, distribution issues that Pokemon was? I feel like there is, and so that's good to hear that there's not.
No, there's not. No, nothing that I've come across. I don't know where they distribute these cards from, because you're on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast here, so maybe there's some sort of a difference with the amount of cards that are distributed on either end of our country here, or what? Not sure.
Oh, I have no idea. But I'll be happy if I can just go out and get some.
Yeah. Well, while we're on the topic of dragons, it's time for our next segment, where we take 2 cards in the competitive space of Magic the Gathering and pit them against each other. It is time for This or That. With both cards in hand, which would you play? Both of these, Michael, are from Tarkir Dragonstorm. This tonight is Scavenger Regent, a 4-mana creature card featuring a dragon atop a mountain of skeletons with 4 power, 4 toughness. The mana cost is 3 colorless and 1 swamp. And the abilities are Exude Toxin. Each non-dragon creature gets -X/-X until end of turn, then shuffle this card into its owner's library. Or you can play it as a creature with flying and ward. The ward cost is discard a card. That tonight is Magmatic Hellkite, another 4-mana creature card featuring a 4 power, 5 toughness dragon, what looks to be flying over magma or the depths of hell. And the mana cost for that is 2 colorless, 2 mountain, with the ability flying. And it reads, when this creature enters, destroy target non-basic land and opponent controls. Its controller searches their library for a basic land card, puts it onto the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it, then shuffles. So, with both in hand, Michael, which do you play?
Well, looking at these both look awesome. I'd be happy to have both of these, like if they had a full art, like a red fiery dragon and then this evil little bone pile dragon. I mean, that's kind of like a sick atmosphere. For competitive here, dude, I'm having trouble seeing that, the Magmatic Hellkite. I'm having trouble seeing that as better. I mean, pretty much the same mana cost, right? I guess one does, or they both have flying. Can you switch back when you place it? Do you have to choose between a dragon or an omen for the Scavenger Regent?
Yep. Yeah.
So you can't flip back and forth. You have to pick one.
Yeah, once it's on the battlefield, that other ability, like the Exude Toxin, just does it. You can't use that at that time. Unless that card pretty much goes back in the library and then you put it back in your hand or something at some point.
What does the ward do?
The ward is if it were to be targeted by a spell. So, for example, destroy target creature is a card that your opponent will play, and then target that creature. The ward cost, so in order to target it, you will have to, in this case, discard a card. Which is a pretty steep
cost. Yeah, dude. I don't even know how I could see this any other way. I'm sure like this could be a trap and you're gonna reveal some stuff. But like I'm picking this Scavenger Regent because the Omen thing is crazy. It's like poison. And then it just as a regular creature, it's still really good. So it like I'm geeking out, I think, about the versatility of it. And I'm not super familiar. When I get a card like this, I don't really have a lot of these that I've even looked at, so I don't even know what this meant. So maybe it's just that I'm excited, but I feel like it's the more versatile card, and to me, it seems like it'd be more valuable. So this is my answer.
Well,
based on ability, I think.
I like the context you gave it and the reasoning behind it. I would differ with you on this one. I would say Magmatic Hellkite is the slightly stronger card. Yes, you're right with the abilities of the Scavenger to kind of be played with, and it could just be used to destroy other non-dragon creatures on the battlefield, or you could play it as a creature. But that 4/5 power toughness of that tonight, Magmatic, that 5 toughness is just you really do need that. with dragons. You really want to kind of have their toughness be a little bit more, as much as you can get. And there's so few cards in the game that destroy lands. Especially overall, there are many cards that destroy lands, but each time they release a set, especially in like the last 6 years, there's very few cards that do anything with destroying lands. So to get that in a creature for only 4 mana and remove a non-basic land, that is a ability that is absurd. And then force your opponent to not be able to use that basic land that they put in replacement of it the next turn with that stun counter on it, just adds to the weight of Magmatic Hellkite. So overall, I'm going to say Magmatic Hellkite is the winner.
Well, after hearing, I understand. So I get that.
Yeah. I mean, again, they're both great cards, especially for 4 mana. Anything with flying is, if you're paying 4 mana, you want to have 4 power and at least 4 toughness. With these dragons, there are a lot of dragons that are like overpowered with their abilities, so they come out for like 4 or 5 mana at 3 power and 3 toughness, and it's kind of shitty for the cost. But it's like, those are the cards that give them a couple turns on the battlefield, and they're gonna be stacking 1/1 counters on top of themselves, and other abilities are gonna trigger, and they'll be a lot stronger than that. Like power and toughness might not be a big factor with them, but yeah, it's just cool pitting these dragons up against each other, because a lot of them out of this set are freaking wild.
Well, I mean, I like both of these. I don't know if it's... I may be a kid, like, maybe the pictures do mean a lot to me. Because I do. Scavenger just looks epic, but I like learning about, each one of these, I feel like I pick up information.
Yeah.
That'll help me in the game.
There's absurd non-basic lands in the game that once you familiarize yourself with a few of them, you'll be like, okay, yeah. Anytime you have a chance to destroy one of these overpowered land cards in the game, you want to get rid of them as quick as possible, because some of them are like brutal. They'll do that ability of that exude toxin, but it won't just be non-dragons. It'll be like every single creature gets -X depending on however many counters are on that non-land or that non-basic land. Yeah.
I haven't even I couldn't even tell you what a non-basic land is. Really.
So a basic land is like
I couldn't name.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is a non-basic land. Anything that is not a basic land. And what is a basic land? There's only 5 of them. There's plains or island, swamp, mountain, forest, I haven't played Magic enough to for so many years to know if there's actually a colorless basic land. I don't believe there is. I think every single land in the game can be used as a colorless land. Probably unless it specifies otherwise. But yeah, the basic lands are just each of the colors. If a land has 2 colors on it, then it's non-basic. But that's not the extent of it.
Some really niche deck out there with this secret colorless land for some nefarious purpose.
Yeah,
some terrible combo.
Well, we were talking about it in the This or That from another recent podcast, and it was that artifact card that shows up that can be used as mana. I believe that one was Soul Ring we were talking about, where it could be used and tapped for 2 colorless mana. And we even had somebody comment on one of our videos, and they made a great point. The ideal scenario, if you're not really pitting them against each other, would have been to play Soul Ring. You can now tap it for 2 mana and then play the other card that we were discussing, all in the same turn. But we were having fun with it, and that's what we do. Yeah. And, even talking about black and red, we can jump into the next talking point tonight, Cult of Rakdos in Magic. It's the black and red guild in the game, and I've described it. Michael, I think you're going to like this one. It's where pain and torture are spread with speed, with monsters controlling and instigating violence, while catering to the entertainment value of assassinations.
Did you write that to cater that to me?
I did. Yeah.
It worked. I was like, this set sounds awesome.
Yeah, really. I mean, it revolves around treasure, around madness. Pay its madness cost. Sacrificing creatures and graveyard strategies. So, exiling cards from graveyards, dealing targeted damage, drawing cards. Like, there's a lot going on with this guild, which is all about, confidence, the freedom to act, embodying spilt blood. This is what actually I wrote. It embodies spilt blood brings ancient power, which reminds me a little bit of like what we were talking about with antique trading cards. I'm thinking, I wonder if anybody had some voodoo dolls or something. They're like, let's go against the king and
unlock a new goal for me.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of theming, this, I know I say this, I ever since you mentioned this, I feel like I like everyone you present more than the next. But in theming specifically, like not the actual mechanics or anything, I mean, the pain and torture spread with speed is, that does sound like the deck that was built for me,
I agree, man. Like, the creatures you'll find in it are assassins, blood witches, warriors, demons, devilish cats, and clowns. Like, everything sadistic and, like, just absurd is going to be heavy in this Rakdos.
The clowns are it's like a weird addition to that, because everything else is almost like, could be like medieval fantasy, and then you just throw fucking clowns in, and it's like, I mean, technically they probably had clowns back then too, right?
Bro.
Like they're probably just different.
It's like the clowns if it were just everything off of the book It. Like, envision that type of a clown. Like a horrific clown you don't want any kid getting anywhere near.
I mean, I'm just not going to envision that clown.
Yeah. There's several of those, and there's just a whole bunch of, demonic monsters in these sets. Some of the cards that are popular, Lizolda, the Blood Witch, Rakdos Charm is a common card in this, and basically anything with the word Rakdos in it. If it's got Rakdos in the name, it's probably a card meant for this set, especially if it's got black and red colors in it. But there's popular commanders. One I actually want you to look up, Roga, Kirkeep Overlord. This one isn't popular by any stretch of the imagination, but I thought this card was absolutely hilarious. I will have to back this up by saying the first set, or the first box of Magic cards I ever opened up, I ended up getting the non-basic land card, Colbert of the Kirkeep, which is like, you can pretty much tap it. I think it's like 3 mana. You can create, or tap it and spend 2 mana, and you can create a 0/1 red kobold creature token named Kobolds of Kirkeep. And of course I didn't have this token, so they give you like blank tokens in the set, and I wrote down Kobold of the Kirkeep, and I made a couple of them, and it's like my favorite token to pull out because it's like so worthless. It's 0/1. It's like not going to deal any damage like most of the time. But if your opponent's stacking with like a 16 creature, and then they don't have trample, you can just block with that dumb 0/1 creature and just let it die. It doesn't really do anything. It's just like, all right, well, let that thing die. I don't care. This card is just funny because it's got that ability on here. Whenever you cast a dragon spell, create that token that I just mentioned, and then it has other kobolds you control get +2/+2. Whenever you cast kobold spell, you may pay 2 mana. If you do, create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. So it kind of ties into the dragons we're talking about, and relatively powerful for a 4/4 creature at 5 mana.
I mean, on the card itself, I can't tell what I'm looking at. It's like there's two dragon heads. I don't know if they've been like severed, but they have like glowing eyes and fire coming out of them. Like this kobold is sick. Now I'm confused. Kobold, I thought there were kobolds in D&D. So is kobold like something more ancient that both games have, taken that culture as their own, or is it like coincident? Or?
I believe the lore is shared across the gaming platforms. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think they're one and the same in a way.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And this is like, again, I don't really know how popular this card is to be used as a commander for Rakdos, but it's pretty strong as a standalone card, and with it being legendary, it can be used as a commander. But more popular ones are going to be Akul, the Unrepentant, Anjay, Falcon Wrath, Prosper, Tombbound, and then Rakdos, Lord of Riots. Those are the ones that if somebody's playing, a 100-card commander deck, those might be these that are going to be showcased for their deck, and put the pressure on to spread that torture. Anything else to add with the Rakdos?
I was gonna say I kind of forgot that the theme of the red and black when we were looking at that. But I just want to also say that looks good together. I'm just saying, red and black, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looking good.
Yeah, we might circle back later today and talk about another card that is prominent in here. I've talked about it a few times, but I just really, really want to share that one again. But we move on. Tonight, we will be discussing time-tested trades. This is where we discuss historic and iconic trading cards across all sets and decks and platforms. And tonight, we're discussing the One Ring from Universes Beyond, The Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. Arguably known for its collectability, I think we all have heard of that serialized one-of-one card that was pulled from a pack and sold to who, Michael?
Shoot, I don't remember.
Post Malone.
Was it Post Malone?
Yep. Do you remember how much you paid for it?
I want to say a clean mil.
It was a clean 2 mil.
2 mil.
Back in 2023. Yep.
I can see his face, and he has a tattoo on his face, right? And then I can see him holding this card. I think he has a picture of it on the internet.
Oh yeah, he was smiling, and I think the Lotsy, they were all about it. Guess what it sold for? It was PSA graded. Guess what the number of the grade was?
Man, was it pulled out of an actual pack? Like you literally rip the pack and you find it in there?
I believe so. Yep. Because I think that's how the kid said that he found it.
I'm going 8.
Okay, you're not far off. It was pulled. It was sold as a PSA mint 9.
Okay.
Yeah. It just threw me. I'm like, oh my gosh, man! I can't believe that it wasn't even. I mean, of course, there's only one of them, so you have to just whatever you get, you're gonna get. There's not 2 of these cards. There's just that one. So it's nice that it was a 9, but you would hope that it was a 10.
I would almost because I know you can do this with autographs. You can send it in and get the autograph authenticated and just tell them not to put the grade on the card. Basically making it the only thing that's important about this is the autograph.
Oh.
But so I'm almost surprised because since there is only one, the grade. I mean, does it matter? If this thing got bent in half, is it not still worth 2 mil? Because it is the One Ring,
Yeah, I guess it depends on that collector, right? Are you showcasing it? You have to showcase it, right? It's the only one of its serialized nature. There's plenty of these other ones out there, but this is the only one. So you're going to want to look at it, right?
I mean, I would. If you have $1 million or 2 mil to spend on it, you can definitely get a display case going.
I'd put it in a binder.
I would just carry it in my wallet.
I put it in my back pocket.
I give it to my cat as a toy.
There you go. Yeah. Well, now in 2025, a near mint foil goes for about $76, which is relatively high for any card in Magic. I mean, if we're being honest, $76 price point is good.
What is $76?
A near mint foil, raw.
Just any
the non-serialized ones of the One Ring.
Interesting.
And I think it's just because the strength in the actual game of this card, it's just simply for its card draw. And like in the game, like that a card, if you have card draw and your opponent doesn't, that's going to give you more access to the top of your deck and more access to pull the cards you need to win. So I think that probably has a reason why, or is the reason why that value hasn't gone down even in the last couple of years. And then, of course, you know, the relatability of this is like anybody who's read the books and seen the movies knows the power that the ring holds. You were helping me understand more about it. Do you want to share any of that with the audience?
Well, I don't know if I'm versed enough to regurgitate Tolkien on the internet, but I mean, my impression was that it was like part of the power of Saruman, and he's like dead and gone and defeated, but similar to like, I don't know, like old Blizzard's Diablo, or like the evil still persists, and he's like watching. Whenever you put the ring on, the user goes invisible, but they're now hunted by these old like soulless knights who are like obsessed with the ring.
Hell yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like the ring is like a trap. Like, you know, it's like one ring to rule them all, but really, that's only for Saruman. Like, it's ultimately just, I feel like, his power. Like, it can bring no good to anyone else.
It'll find itself on his hands at some point.
I mean, I would definitely put it on. Like, you know, I'd probably be evil right off the bat.
Oh, no. This is a reminder of Marvel now.
Because I would just be like, I mean, I gotta test this out. And then I think at that point, I'm already doomed. Like, I've already, you know, given in to putting on this evil magic. Like,
you know, what was really neat about the one-of-one serialized card that we're talking about here is that in order for them to kind of capture the Tolkien lore and the unique nature of the ring, it is covered, the one-of-one is covered in gold foil and etched with the original Elvish black speech inscriptions. So I think, I guess they had to partner with Tolkien perhaps and try to, you know, use those symbols as a way of, you know, translating the abilities of the card into that inscription, which was really neat.
Wait. So the text on the card is in Elvish?
Yeah, it's totally, you look at it like, okay, whatever this is.
Yeah,
so I think that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they really did probably do their part in trying to get that translated to be accurate. So with that, Michael, will this last the test of time?
Oh, man. I mean, I'm going to say yes, because of Tolkien's literature. Like, those books are going to be relevant, you know, deep into the future, which will give this card relevancy no matter what. Like, so now you have Magic and you have card collectors, but you also have, you know, the books, and it's like, it's not all going away. Like, any time in any foreseeable future. So, yes, it will last the test of time.
You heard it, folks. First. Nice, yep. They did, indeed. As did I.
I can't wait till Post Malone, like, he just shows up at my door and hits me in the face and is like, I lost millions holding this. It's worth nothing now. You lied. I kept it because I listened to your podcast. You said it would stand the test of time.
He's going to hand it to you folded up.
It's all part, the ring is real, okay? It was always a trading card. It was never an actual ring. and Tolkien was trying to warn us that we should destroy the card, and it's surfacing again to challenge mankind.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, listen, I've been sitting on some news for a while.
Oh yeah.
And a couple weeks here. I told you I sent you a teaser, picture of a card.
Oh yeah. Well, I wouldn't say a picture of a card, more like the picture of the edges of what looked to be a card.
I mean, it was basically the whole image, like a whole millimeter strip of one side. But so I went to Target, doing my laundry. I had some time to kill. I'm going to Target, looked at the card section. Pokemon is just out. It has been for months now at my location.
Crazy.
It is crazy. I ended up they were out of everything except for one thing. And that was I guess the segment we teased was called Music Memory. So I want you to tell me, Kevin. I'm gonna hum you music. And you have to use your memory to tell me what this song is. And I do have a hard one and an easy one. So if you don't get the hard one, don't worry, you'll get the easy one. But I think you'll probably get both. All right, are you ready?
All right, my eyes are closed.
You tell me what you're hearing.
Go ahead.
Right?
Yep.
Hold on, it's just one. Me. All right, okay. All right. Da 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 da. Do you recognize that at all?
It sounds like the beginning of like a concert band song or something.
Okay. All right, and we're gonna go.
I'm having trouble with it.
We're gonna go. Don't worry, you can blame it on my. I didn't even listen to it beforehand, so that was nostalgia.
Yeah, you're in the wrong key, bro.
Yeah, I'll totally believe it. So the other one is
Halo.
Yeah.
Halo, yeah.
Which means I got a box of Halo trading cards.
Oh.
And
whoa.
In that box, they had some like camo cards that were like clear, and it's like the camouflage, and I'm ripping through. I think it was Upper Deck. Upper Deck was the brand of card. That's why they're square. You were like, it must be a sports card, or it reminds me of a sports card, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about this. I'm ripping through these packs again. This was just for fun. I think they were like $25 each. I think I got 2 of them.
Not the cards, the boxes, right? Or
the boxes, yeah. It comes with, I don't know how many packs, maybe 6 or something. I didn't count. This is not a set I was like heavily investing in. Like I'm like, how much am I getting per pack of Pokemon? Or like, I'm just getting it for fun. It's a spontaneity buy. I'm bored, Yeah. And I go through these cards, and all of a sudden I like get to one, and it doesn't look like any of the others, and it has a scratch-off section, and it just says Cortana Chip Redemption. And the card itself is just a blank white card with the whole face of it just Cortana, like the chip she's on.
Wow.
And if you flip it to the back, so I'm like, I don't know anything about this, but I'm like, what? This is a weird looking one. And it says, congratulations. A reservation for 1 Cortana chip card will be made in your name when you submit your request. And like, wow. I'm like, I don't know what this is, man. Like, you know how long I've been pulling trading cards? Like, what is this? What are they talking about? Like, I felt like I was put on a quest. And so I looked this up. I Googled it, of course.
Of course.
And yeah, that's the only thing to do. And apparently, these are like serialized cards. And when you get one of these, you take the code, you go to the Upper Deck website, and you type in the code, and then they mail you a card in due time, which is something outrageous. It's like, they said like wait like 45 to 90 days or something like that. And like, so I guess I'm waiting a while, but I was able to figure out, it tells you who you get, and I'm getting like a serialized Major Grunt. I think is the card.
Okay.
Grunt Major or something like that. And I was super happy with that, but I was stoked, man, because I've never pulled a serialized card of any sort that I can remember. Like I don't have it, so I don't think I've ever pulled one. And so but it raises the question because like I'm super stoked to get this. I loved Halo 3, and I played 1, 2, 3, and Reach were probably my favorite series. 3 being like my crown jewel as far as like how well I played it, and then all the rest like 1 and 2 were just so good. What a crazy franchise to go throughout Reach. I'm just thinking is an absolute masterpiece. But anyway, I was like really hype about this card. I didn't really expect that. I was just trying to have some fun and like expand my trading card hobby and look at and see what else is out there. And all of a sudden, I'm like getting mail ordered a special card. I'm so happy. Some of them I think were autographs, like you could win autographs of the voice actors. I do not think mine is that. But to be honest, dude, I don't know until it gets here. So I guess I'll find out more details. But
Neat.
the question it raised for me, I told you I pulled that Minecraft serialized card. And I literally did the same thing. I went back to that Target to see what they had. They ended up having like literally one row of Tarkir. What is it, Dragonstorm?
Yep.
And then they had these Minecraft boxes. But so I buy one and I take that home and I get 2 serialized cards in that. And I'm like, I'm losing it. At this point, I'm king of trading cards. Obviously, I have the power. And I look it up and I realize that I think for the Minecraft set, every card has like serialized 1 to 150. But someone on Reddit, and that is as far as my source checking went, but on Reddit, someone was basically like, yeah, you're expected to get like 1 or 2 per box. And so now I'm confused as to like how popular are trading cards, because like it just seems like that would be a really limited release for Minecraft, and I'm feeling the same kind of way for Halo. Like is it special that I got this? Because let me tell you, it feels
Amazing.
special.
Yeah.
It does.
Hearing it, from this side, it feels cool.
The Minecraft one, I'm like, is it guaranteed? It still feels special either way. I don't know how to, like, there's only 149 of these. Like, you can't say that. Like, if you're looking at PSA 10s and it's like there's only 149, that's relatively low. Like, like that's not 10,000 cards graded. That's not, 1,000. It's in the hundreds. So I've been super, super hype on the hobby. I ended up ripping a ton of boxes of cards in the last couple weeks. It got me kind of hype. I ordered more sorcery. I'm itching for Tarkir. I really want to get like 3 cases of Tarkir. I just don't.
My gosh.
I mean, I just can't afford it. I just don't have it. I just got paid, I think today. But still, even with the pay, I still don't have enough to just splurge on cards. But I want it, and I'm feeling the fire.
Yeah, the dragons will be there waiting.
You say what now?
The dragons will be there waiting for you when you're ready to catch them.
You're right.
Pull them out of the sky.
And if I really am, I am kind of obsessed, I think, with Tarkir. Don't know why. I think it's dragons. The dragons got me hype. I also think I felt like some of the other ones and upcoming ones are more lame. And I don't mean to, like, I'm sure people are going to be offended. I'm like, I don't care about whatever your cup of tea is. Like, I'm not going to hate on it, like, if you're playing it. But for me, Dragon has my attention over the vehicles. Like, that was a weird one. It felt weird. Final Fantasy is going to feel weird, not because I have anything against Final Fantasy, but because I feel like, Lord of the Rings, when you talk about that, I may be too ignorant that I'm a little fearful. Like I'm going to say the wrong thing, but I still feel like I know some Lord of the Rings, right? Final Fantasy, I feel like I know nothing. So I feel like it's not made for me. So I'm fixated on Tarkir a little bit. But that'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah, and it might just be a way to get your hands on a bunch of these newer cards. They're going to be around for a while in Standard, and then, explore the competitive space.
Well, I think I'm going to take it a little bit slower. Like even the packs I got, I think I ripped one on the phone with you one week, and it was like I didn't even look. Like I wanted to see what mythic I may have gotten, and I basically put them down. But
You're only looking for dragons.
Yeah, I only
Mythic
want to
dragons.
showcase, Shatterfoil
Spirit
dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like that's not. I am interested. I think this is going to be the set. I kind of dive deeper into competitive. It's because I feel more ready. Like you've been training me slowly, and
Good.
now that I can see, you know what I mean. Before you were reading, and it's like I still don't know any of the basic terminology that I should, right? But I do know strategy. So now it feels like I just need to fill in some gaps, and like I could actually start playing. I feel less lost, I guess.
And Arena is going to help with that. Again, we're not sponsored by anybody, but I think Arena is just the perfect way to dip your toes into it at your own pace, and at the same time, acquire that library of digital cards and just learn what's out there, what can be made, and go from there.
Magic Arena, we're not sponsored, but we should be. Reach out.
Yeah, right.
We're here. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about, or is it time for our next segment?
I would love to talk about Oni Cult Anvil. Another card in Rakdos.
That's a black.
Before we just jump.
It's black and red.
Yeah. And gosh, I'm glad that you know that. But yeah, this is one that I mentioned once before. I'll just kind of remind everybody: it's 1 swamp and 1 mountain. That's the cost. It's 2 mana. It's an artifact. It's from the Kamigawa Neon Dynasty set, and the ability of the artifact is whenever 1 or more artifacts you control leave the battlefield during your turn, create a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn, and then you can tap it, sacrifice an artifact, and then the card will deal 1 damage to each opponent, and you gain 1 life. Fun fact, the last time I was playing it in a group setting, I totally forgot that this card deals 1 damage to each opponent, and it made for a pretty fun experience once I learned that, because I was just sacrificing artifacts every turn, every chance I could get. You pair this with like anything that's going to be creating blood tokens. Blood tokens are like a cheap artifact that you don't really need a lot of the time. Or like a treasure token is also an artifact. So if anything produces treasure, then you can just sacrifice your treasure and cause this ability to trigger, dealing 1 damage to each of your opponents, and then you gain a life each time you do that. So this is a card that I built a deck off of. I thought it was the coolest strategy in focusing on not dealing damage in combat, but dealing damage outside of combat. And ended up getting me, I think I tweaked the deck a few times and got all the way through Arena, all of the levels into Mythic, which is the highest tier on Ranked you can get into. So this was a really fun card that got me there, and I always want to give it its credit wherever I can. And it is a very strong part of the Rakdos deck idea as far as sacrificing your creatures and that triggering abilities that ultimately are going to win you the game.
Dude, imagine how strong this would be if it didn't have the words, you can only trigger this once per turn.
Oh,
this would just be just an infinite glitch.
Yeah, because when you're sacrificing an artifact and creating that creature, I'll remind you, it's creating a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature, which, guess what? You'll be able to sacrifice on the next turn and do that all over again just with that creature that you created. So you don't have to have a blood token or a treasure token or any other artifact to sacrifice. You can just sacrifice that cheapo monster. And there's even more interesting parts about that, because you can do it during the time you would an instant when you sacrifice an artifact. So in combat, I'd be sacrificing it, and it caused a lot of people to panic and go, wait, what's happening? How is this working? How is my lifelink creature who's blocking that creature not getting the lifelink, and I'm not getting life? Well, if the creature dies before the lifelink creature can block it, then that lifelink doesn't matter at all. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about it. I love it so much. Go on, Cold.
Good looking card.
Yeah,
I only knew it was red and black because I was looking at it. I pulled it up as soon as you started talking about it.
Hell yeah, dude. It's one of my favorites, honestly. And I got them for like dirt cheap. I think after a couple years after the set, I was building a deck and I got like them for 25 cents. I think they're only worth like 10 or less, 10 cents. But
I feel like red and black is calling me, and then if anything, I might try like red, black, and white, or red, black, and blue one day.
Yeah.
But I mean, red and black, it's like the theme, even this anvil, dude, it's literally this like strange cube blob with a demon's face and a flat top, and it's like, this doesn't even work logically, but like, magically it does, obviously. It's the Oni-Cole anvil. And so, I don't know, it's sweet. I do have a taste for the themes and everything, dude. It's
nice. You strike me as somebody who wouldn't just like pull all of the cards that you've pulled out of packs and build decks out of those and then see which is the strongest. You strike me as one that would hone in on exactly the strategy you're looking for and then just go deep into that strategy and then, go on TCG and pluck out individual cards if that's what it takes.
That's exactly how this is pretty much going. Like you presented these and I've never felt inspired, but I mean, dude, there might be a crazy dragon that's red and black, and I'm just like, this is it. Let's do it.
Wait and see.
Yeah, in time.
Oh yeah.
I would, dude. I wish I had like just a palette of cards. I would totally just start diving into them.
I think
I'd limit it. I'd be because I frown upon that kind of stuff on YouTube. I would limit it to like 10 cases a day. That's
10 cases. Let's collect at least half the set today.
It would be fun. There should be a freebie stretch goal where you hit a level of success and you just get a freebie to do something in poor taste. You just earned it. You can open up that palette of Pokemon while everyone else can't have cards. But if you do it every week, now you're a villain.
Yeah, you're just kind of showing off. Everybody wants that ability, but not. I would imagine not everybody wants to watch you with that ability every week.
It's like you got to diet a little bit. You can consume every once in a while. You can have the 12 donuts, but
go to the buffet. Yeah,
you can't be doing that every day.
Exactly. Was it time for the greatest segment in the universe, Michael?
It is.
All right.
So for that, we're tuning into a different pod. No, I'm just kidding. That's on our podcast, and it is a segment called Sejum's Murder. It's a game with points, prizes, power, and progression. So let me take you on a journey. You are in a deep slumber, and you begin to slip further down than you've ever been before. Suddenly your dream breaks, and you see within your own mind's eye, in a chasm of space and time, the home of the card clerk, with the warm, sweet-smelling red sand swirling all around you. You look over this now familiar genie from bottom to top, and you see the familiar smoky tail, lower body with the tail coat, the beautiful top coat, the pocket square of trading cards, the porcelain face, and the top hat with bows and tattered edges. And you hear, "Welcome back. I'm the card clerk. I'm here to give you chances at progression towards prizes and power. Choose your path." He holds out his hand and you see a yellow fluffy duck, a blue bubbling potion, and a live red cricket. And you must choose one.
I'm going with that blue bubbling potion. I'm really excited about it.
All right. You choose the blue bubbling potion. As your hand reaches and curls around the potion, it overflows, sticking to you, scaring you. All of a sudden, it eats you, it consumes you like venom from the Marvel Universe. And suddenly, you can see again, but you're not where you were. The venom-like bubbling potion absorbs away into your skin and is gone. You see before you 3 witches. One of the most beautiful women you've ever seen. One of the most hideous women you've ever seen, and one woman who you're fairly certain is a man. But it's not what they look like that's important, it's what they're doing, and they are trying to cure what is clearly a sick and injured deer. They look at you and they say, there's no time to waste. We need your help. I need you to go and collect 3 of the mythical flowers. As if knowing exactly what they're talking about, you look to your left and you see the side eye of a flower, suddenly very nervous, and you begin to chase. As you get closer towards it, you reach out. You know the mission. You are saving this deer. You need these herbs. And then it turns to you and it asks you a question in this strange moment. It says, today there was a PSA 5 Shadowless base set Venusaur that sold on eBay. You know this to be one of the original hype cards. It could be a time-tested trade. The question is, what did it sell for? And the choices are A, $50, B, $100, C, $20, or D, $400. And just to give it to you one more time, it is a PSA 5 Shadowless base set Venusaur.
Ooh, I think because of the shadowless aspect, I am going to go all the way to 400 final.
All right. The flower looks up, sticks out its tongue, and goes... It jumps into the soil and burrows in, disappears outside of your grasp. The answer was C, $200.
Wait, 200? I thought you said 20.
No, did I say 20?
Oh my gosh, I think you said 20. I think you
Listen,
I think you set me up for this.
If I said 20 in next week's episode, I will refund you.
Okay, cool.
Reward.
All right.
So these are all worth 25 points. So that's what's on the line, but it is 200, and I'm sure Shadowless, like you said, plays a crucial role because I mean it's a PSA 5. But it's the whole, earliest set that didn't get the proper shading, and it's iconic. Before the dread can set in that, are you letting this poor, sick deer die? These witches are counting on you to get these. You see the next side-eyed looking flower. He's already aware. You're after him. He runs. You chase. He looks back and he asks, worth another 25 points. The last set for Magic the Gathering, Tarkir Dragonstorm. I don't know if you've heard of that, Kevin.
Do tell.
There's a card. It is the number 1 card in this set. I'll tell you about it later. It is called Eugen, Eye of the Storms. It's a showcase hollow foil. Okay, it's the baddest of the bad. What's its current market price on TCG Player? Is it A, $150? Is it B, $350? Is it C, $450? Or is it D, $550?
Is this the showcase foil crazy one?
Yeah, it's the craziest rarity that I know of. It says showcase, but the one set, the rarest, were fractured foil. So I don't know what role that plays, but it is a showcase hollow foil.
Okay. Can you just please give me the numbers for choice B and C again?
Yes. C is 450 and D is 550.
What about B?
B is 350.
Okay, and then A was 150. I'm going to go with the
You don't seem that interested in A.
I was interested, but I think it could be a little bit more than that. So I'm just gonna it's between A and B. I'm just gonna go with B final.
Well, that was good instinct. Although this flower too disappears beneath the soil, burrowing. You're kind of confused because it leaves no trace. I don't know what this is, but you have no time to think. The answer was $550.
Whoa.
Now, as far as I know, on TCG Player, it's not the same as looking at a sold listing. So sometimes you see the market price of $550 and then you'll see it for sale for less. But I don't know if there are sales on there yet. So the only number I saw was $550 in the heat of the hype for Eugen or Ugin. I'm going with Eugen. So you're desperate. You've lost 2 flowers. You have a feeling This may be your last chance. You look to your side, you see what appears to be the strongest, most vibrant of these herbs yet. And it's off. Filled with vigor, you chase after it. You have to get this right. You have to catch this flower. For this deer. It's for the deer, Kevin. Think of the deer. Worth 25 points. This one is out of left field. There's a lot of 30 used vintage Zippo lighters. All right, 30 lighters in good condition. They sold today on eBay. For how much? Is it A, $35? Is it B, $350? Is it C, $3,500? Or is it D, $35,000?
God damn. This is hard. I'm going with D. Fuck it. Send it.
D.
D. Let's go with it.
Final buff flower looks back at you. Your fingertips reach out. It begins to grasp the leaf, but suddenly it jumps up, does a backflip over your head, kicking the back of your head as you tumble down, and it escapes into the wilderness. The answer was B, $350.
Okay.
Which in all, in just thinking about it, that's probably about regular price. I don't know that any of these have appreciated in value, because I feel like they're probably $20 as is, right? So that's like,
yeah,
$10 a lighter. So, I just figured I'd throw in a trick question. However, I did get you on that one. You may get 25 points in the future. However, for the time being, you return to the witches, defeated, empty-handed. And they look at you and they go, there is but one last hope. Maybe you can answer our age-old riddle. Now, this is a tricky question, but what Magic the Gathering card has a Pokemon's name written on it? And there is no multiple choice. This is only up to you.
I wish you said trainer's name. I would have had a much better success chance. Gosh.
Yeah, go ahead and...
Well, I mean, there's like Blazing Crescendo. I'm thinking of Blaze. I mean, there's like a lot of ones that incorporate the word Blaze. But, oh, man. You know what? You have stumped me, Michael. I'm just going to have to succumb to the loss here. I'm completely at the mercy of the flower at this point.
Well, to give you a hint, and I don't know that this will help you. This is a really tough one. But the hint is the writer of this joke, or this joke, the writer of this riddle, this question, they belong to House Slytherin.
Ooh, slithery little snake. Yeah, no help. Malfoy.
Okay. That's okay. So I was gonna accept. I didn't know what you would say. This was a super difficult question. But I want to throw you like some really hard ones every once in a while because you might just get one and like kill it one day. But for today, the answer I selected is like I would take, and I was open-minded to see what else you might come up with, but was Lotus Cobra. And it's technically a trick because Cobra here is spelled like a cobra with a C, but Arbok and Ekans are just Cobra and Snake written backwards. So whenever you see Cobra, it's technically a Pokemon's name, just written backwards on a card. Very difficult.
Very nice.
And as the witches reveal now, you see red in their eyes. They were evil all along. They weren't trying to help you. They weren't trying to heal the deer. And before your very eyes, their jaws unhinge, and they begin feasting on the deer, now succumbing completely to the evil witches. And
oh my God. The Rakdos
Yes.
blood witches.
The Rakdos witches are now full of vigor, however you are not, and your vision begins to go once more. Suddenly, you arrive again before the card clerk, and he tells you have earned 25 points in total, but 0 for today, earning 0 questions right, pending review of the first one. You may get 25 points if I indeed said 20, then you'll get the 25. And for today, because you have no vigor, you get no time outside of the dream realm, and this ends Cedrum's murder for today.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It was brutal, but it's gonna set me up to do better next time.
It will. I think what I might do, because you're gonna have big swings, I think, with the multiple choice. Like, there's gonna be times where you're dry, and then there's gonna be times where you're hitting them. Because at the end of the day, it's like, you get 25% odds. But I think I'm gonna alternate maybe the challenge to be nearly impossible versus like much more obvious. Although the one you had last week was designed to be pretty much impossible, and you got it. So I just went ahead. I did the old PoE2, and I just doubled down. Like, you're gonna get
Double
it this
the life.
week.
Yeah,
That's right.
Double the
That's
life.
right.
Yeah,
You ain't killing this boss,
man.
buddy. Just remake. All right.
That's great. That's so great. Stay off hardcore, everybody. No. Oh man, good stuff, man.
Yeah, I've been enjoying our podcast. It's been this whole podcast format. For I guess for developing something, like producing something. That's why we're doing it. But like, honestly, I enjoy like talking to you and like having a this or that in the middle of it. Like, I look forward to that.
Yeah, I think it's just fun, the conversation we have in general, and where we're taking it, especially with these new sets, man. I mean, there's so many fun things to talk about. I shared just the tastes of Rakdos today, and I'd like to talk about some other fun stuff.
I'm gonna have to remember. Rakdos is that's the name for me, man. Cult of the Rakdos.
Might be.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt or something.
You'll have to pull the trigger once you have a deck in hand. Then we'll know what your true colors are.
You're gonna get a tattoo, just one sleeve of red and black, baby.
Well, I'm excited to look up Eugen Eye of the Storms now and get a better feel for what that's all about. Set just got released, so it's exciting to stumble upon some greatness. If one's really worth that much money, then there's a lot of truth behind it.
It's usually, and this is my guess, because you're the Magic guy, but I like look at prices on websites all day. But it's like either it's super iconic, like it's a cat, or it's a time-tested trade kind of deal, or it's the rarest version of an already super effective card. And so, like,
exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those two. Because the ones in the other set, they were all, I mean, maybe they were super powerful, the Enduring Courage or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they were, I think, all cute creatures. I have a feeling is why, and they're the shiny ones. So
yeah, and like when you're looking
guess.
at Mythic and the mana cost of it too, and if you get something like, Eugen, which now I'm looking at 7 mana, like it's a mythic, so it's already going to be rare. You stack on top of that the alternate art, making it more rare, and then the 7 mana cost. It's like a game-winning card if you have everything else that you need on the battlefield, and then you play this card, where this would ideally be that like triggering everything ability. That's probably the a healthy reason why it's like just so overpowered and going to be worth a lot of money. These are some fun cards in Magic. It's very much like a Charizard and Blastoise, probably from like the base set before there was Jungle or any other cards, and everybody knew, okay, those are the cards that you want to have. They're going to win you the game. And, with Magic being in it for what, 30 or 40, 50 years now, I mean, they've got to have some crazy cards that they make to do that. And these are probably, that one that you mentioned, Eugen, is probably just on the top of that list.
Excellent. I look forward to pulling it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, Michael, send us home.
Well, everybody, next week, don't forget to tune in. We'll be talking about a special topic, spring cleaning. And don't lie, you've got something to do at home, too. And other than that, I look forward to, having the next one, and I hope you guys keep enjoying your hobby.
Yep, it was blast, Michael, as always. And everybody, thanks again for joining us. We will catch you all next time.